Hello everyone, in this video today we're going to be discussing the passing rates for CFA Level 2 exams held in August 2021 and a new all-time low at 29%. Firstly, congratulations to all those who've passed. This is a huge achievement and you're now one step away from completing the program. I wish you all the very best for Level 3, you'll need it, and hopefully the charter is not too far away. For the rest of the candidates that didn't make it, it's extremely tough because at Level 2 you're stuck right in the middle, and well, actually not in the middle anymore because you have to appear for 2 more levels. And we know that most candidates that enroll for the CFA program end up not becoming charter holders. That's just the way it works. And no candidate starts out thinking that way, but as you fail and as you fail multiple times, that feeling or that realization begins to set that the program is not going to be for me and I will not be able to pass. But keeping that aside, really there are only 3 things that must be going through in your minds, and you may have already made this decision up way before the results came out, because everyone has an inkling of whether they would pass or fail even before the exams results are announced. And really you could decide to quit and walk away from the program, perfectly fine, perfectly all right. You could take a pause and take a break, revisit whether you want to pursue the charter and the program, and that's perfectly fine as well. The third group of people will want to carry on and make sure that one failure is not going to come in their way. They already know that statistically, well, most people fail Level 2, so it's just a process that everyone has to go through. There may actually be a 4th group of people who are undecided of what to do, whether to quit, whether to proceed, whether to take a break, and maybe I can help. I have been in that boat. A friend of mine and myself, we kept failing Level 3 multiple times, and there was constant doubt after every attempt. Should we proceed with this and should we actually finish it off? In the end, we kept pushing ourselves and saying, what, we know that at Level 3, when you reach Level 3, capability is not an issue. It's your strategy and working on your weaknesses and learning from your mistakes, really. And as long as you overcome those, there's no stopping you. So that was clear. For Level 2, it's a little bit different, and it really depends if you've failed for the first time or you have failed multiple times. If you failed for the first time, you should definitely give it another go. As I've mentioned, it's a process that one needs to go through, and you learn from your failures more than successes. So keep going, and look, there's a different sense of accomplishment when you fail a few times and then actually finish the line, because there's no winners here. It's all an individual play, and as long as you get to the finish line, you have reached where everyone else has reached as far as getting the charter is concerned. So there is no number 1 finishing number 2 or finishing at number 3. It's whenever you finish, finishing matters. So keep that in mind. But if you failed a few times, then it gets a bit tricky, because you have to look for the reasons of your failures. Is it an issue with your learning? Is it an issue with your memory recollection? Or is it an issue where you've not prepared enough, you've not put in the effort? Because if it's the latter, it's easier to fix. You know what the problems are. But if it's your way you learn and the way you have been studying throughout your life, that's not working for you, then it's obviously much harder to overcome that. It can be overcome, but it may take a little bit longer, so you have to be patient and more persistent in your pursuit of the charter. For failed candidates that want to carry on, the option is really February or August, and there's only a few days left before you make that decision for the Feb exams. If I was appearing for Level 2 again in 2022, definitely I'd go for the Feb. 4 months away, I still will be fresh from the exams in August, and I'd want to get it out of the way as soon as possible and prepare for Level 3. I would also know that during Christmas and New Year's, usually you get a much longer holiday break. I would want to use that to my advantage. But in saying that, there are pros and cons. There's fatigue, there's burnout. Usually when you appear for the second time, just be a little bit careful, because if you don't change your strategy and approach much, the score can go down, and you may actually perform worse than your first attempt, and that can be even more demotivating. So something to watch out for. But really the choice is yours. Everyone's pace is different, and there's no right or wrong answer. There are pros and cons for when you want to give, whether you want to delay it or give it immediately. That's all I had to say in this short video, and I'd just like to conclude by saying, every time I failed the CFA exam, I used to feel very frustrated, and I know it sounds dumb to say. How else would I be feeling, right? But I used to think, how can one performance on one particular day define who I am? But really what was defining me was the day-to-day approach to the curriculum and the dedication to the program. You know, it's the process of how you prepare for the exams that's actually way more important and defines how you are going to be solving real-life problems than performing on one given day. And my advice really would be to work on that. And trust me, if you work on the process, results have to follow. See you in the next one.